All right. Well, it's that time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for 7 Minutes with 7SIGNAL, where we take a little feature, unpack it, and show you incredible value. So here you go. You should be able to see my screen. Just give me the thumbs up if you can. All right. So Beta was talking about some really cool stuff about putting in a Wi-Fi network and making sure that you do it properly. You know what you got to do after you put in a Wi-Fi network? You got to test it. You want to just make sure that your empty network is performing. Because if it doesn't perform nicely when it's empty, then how the heck is it going to perform well when it's full of clients and everybody's doing their thing? That is one of the cool things about 7SIGNAL. You put these little sapphire eyes in place and you flip the switch, and now you're actually measuring the performance of your Wi-Fi network when it's empty. In addition, then when people come in, you can compare it to what it looks like when it's full. So let me show you a little bit of that right now. What we've got here are sapphire eyes in the environment running throughput, packet loss, latency, jitter testing, 24 hours a day. And so you can actually see from the sapphire eyes point of view what's going on. And this is a whole week of throughput data for all of the access points that we're monitoring and measuring in this service area. So we're doing upload throughput, we're doing download throughput. As you can see here, we're measuring ping round trip time. We're calculating a MOS score, which is the quality of the voice conversation over Wi-Fi by calculating or taking into account packet loss and jitter, so on and so forth. All right, let's go back up to the top and let me show you something really cool. This is a great feature I think you're going to love. I'm going to go into settings here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply time intervals. You see that? And what I've done is I've set it for after hours, because I want to see what my network looks like when it's empty. So I've set it for 5 o'clock to 11 o'clock at night, and I just want to see data for those time periods. That's one of the cool things that you can do. So let's run the report. All right, and hide these settings. And there you go. So I mean, all of the time in the middle of the day has been taken out, and so you can see what these access points are doing when nobody is on them. Okay, so for instance, I can click into the chart to load the data, and when I do, then I can mouse over these dots and I can see, okay, this is this access point, and I can see the timestamp, and I can see what it's able to do when nobody's connected to it. And sometimes this is just so valuable, just to be able to see what is the performance when it's empty versus when my network is full. And that's what we're able to offer you here as well. Let me show you one more thing while we're in this end-to-end report. I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. And the other thing that we're monitoring and measuring is the signal strength between the sapphire eye and the access point. These items are stationary, okay? They're fixed. So when we see fluctuations in power and signal strength, it ain't the sapphire eye doing it, it's the controller modifying TX power in the access point. So we like to see if this is happening in the middle of the day or if it's not happening at all. And once again, you can see here, these are all really steady readings. Okay, so this looks really good. Same thing with channel changes. Are my channel changes happening all the time in the middle of the day, or are they happening at night when maybe I would expect them to? Oftentimes when channel changes take place, if I'm going to run that RRM algorithm and reshuffle the deck, so to say, based upon what it thinks are the best channels to use for the next day, I'd like to have that happen at night so that I'm all ready for the next day, because when it happens in the middle of the day, that could lead to problems with people getting disconnected and such like that. So down here, look at this. It's really nice and steady during the middle of the night, but hey, let's change this. Let's go back up to the top here and change this to run during business hours. So I'm going to change this to run from 8 in the morning to 5 o'clock at night, and we're going to run our report again. All right, and now let's go all the way to the bottom. And you know what? Looking pretty good, except for on this day right here, I did have some channel changes right there in the middle of the day. And if I was not expecting it, that's something that I would go into my controller and I would check out. Okay, so there you have it, guys. I mean, just so much power and control and visibility and flexibility within the system. I hope you enjoyed our episode today. And you know what? Remember, guys, you and me, we can't see or hear Wi-Fi, but 7SIGNAL can. Thanks for joining us today.